United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Lord, thank you for the blessings you've given us. Thank you, Lord, for the blessing of sending your son, Jesus Christ, to die for us. We appreciate this time of year. Just take a minute to reflect on that, reflect on the blessings, reflect on the fact that that your guidance and your will helps us, Lord, as we deliberate the business of the county, and help us, Lord, to keep in mind the best interests of all of our residents. Help us to just be better, Lord. Ask all these things in the name of your son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Hey, Steve, would you mind if I read a verse?
Please.
I think it's appropriate for this time of the year. It's Isaiah 9:6. For us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Amen.
Thanks, Doug. Okay, you received the minutes from the December 16th meeting. Any additions, changes, corrections need to be made to those minutes?
I'm good, Stan.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve.
I'll second Stan's motion.
Motion by Sands, second by Doug. That motion passes. Sign the minutes.
Thank you.
All right. Tony, what have you got for us?
And let's start out with the weights and measures monthly report submitted by Inspector Dan Hackman. I had that in front of you when you got here this morning. The weights and measures monthly report.
Make a motion to enter that into record.
I second it.
Motion been made by Stan, seconded by Doug. That motion passes. We'll enter those into the record.
Next, we have the utilities paid in Lao. And the amount of the utilities paid in Lao is $32,119.51. I also had that waiting in front of you. And the difference between 24 and 25 was down there by Stan. If you want to look at that and pass it down, it shows you the difference between last year and this year. And again, the amount's $32,119.51.
You got 25 there, Stan.
25.
Here's 24,
This is
Steve.
the second page to 25 or 24.
Here's 24. Comparison to 25. Okay. 119.51. I see no reason we shouldn't approve the utilities paid in Lao dated 12/18/25, 32,119.51 total. I make a motion that we approve this.
I'll second that.
Motion by Doug, seconded by Stan. Utilities paid in Lao are approved payment.
Next, we have the animal control report submitted by Chad Sprunger. Looks like total mileage was 183 miles. And if you would like to approve entering that into the record. I give you
Here we
that.
go. Here we go.
128.10, right, Tony?
That's correct.
So moved.
Second.
By Doug, seconded by Stan. That motion passes.
Okay. Next, we have, and really this isn't just the weekly health insurance claims. This is a funding summary to finish out the year. Including stop loss and so forth for Allied. And medical is $109,654.16. Prescription is $36,576. There was some stop loss, which brought the total. That was $1198.02, by the way. And the required funding is $144,956.90, $144,956.90.
That's the amount you're looking for approval for, right?
Yes,
Tony?
$144,956.90, yes.
Stan, are you okay?
Yep. That's a
Move that we
year-end.
approve the recommended 144,956.90.
Tony, I didn't look at the balance in our health fund. I assume that, between you and the treasurer, you're always real good about making sure we're okay there.
Yeah, we're fine. I don't know what the exact amount is off the top of my head. I'd have to look, but I can do that.
I made
do
the
that after
motion,
I get
Stan,
mine.
if you.
I'll second that.
Okay, that motion passes.
I can look at that after I get done with it.
It's okay, Tony.
Sure.
I know you're, watch that pretty close.
The next item are accounts payable claims, which you could have received. And those are in the amount of $671,370.91. I think the bulk of that was bridge and highway. Where you go, guys?
Those guys.
Hey, it just shows you we've got good roads and bridges, right?
At least
Yeah.
we invest in them.
I make a motion to approve the claims as presented.
Second.
Motion by Stan, seconded by Doug. Claims are approved.
And here these are. Oops. Okay. Next we have payroll AP claims, which of course are the benefits outside of payroll. These are the benefits paid to employees. And that is in the amount of $354,678.83.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Stan, seconded by
It's
Doug.
354, right?
354,678.83.
Payroll AP claims are approved.
Okay. And then the only question I have is, do you want to do the sheriff later, or do you want to bring him up now?
Let's do that now. Let's do the claim he has now anyway.
That way you can
That
run
way,
it
that
up,
way we have all the claims together.
and if you can run it up afterward, get it to Glenda so she can get that paid. If you need help with the explanation, let me know.
Gentlemen, I'm asking for a special approval of a claim just because it's out of the cycle, because I just received it yesterday, so it's not before you. This is a JAG grant, reimbursement grant that I applied and received for our WatchGuard camera upgrade. This total is, I'm asking for approval is $88,880.50. That gets approved, then you start the process to get reimbursed for that, and then that grant would be closed
Okay.
by the end of the year, basically. So I don't have to keep dealing with it. Tony's off, you guys don't have to, it'll be done.
So this is a situation where we approve the payment, we make the payment, and then we get reimbursed once we've made the
Correct,
payment.
and this will be the second and final payment. We did this earlier in the year for, I think, around $67,000, and the payment came back on time, and I expect the same issue.
Good. Refresh my memory, WatchGuard cameras, where are those at?
In all our in the sheriff's deputies' cars, and then the interview rooms at the jail and the data master room. So all those were upgraded because the 4RL system that we have to WatchGuard was end of life, and now we're off the cloud, and we're not doing our in-service, on-site service through a server.
What's the amount that you're asking for again?
$88,880.50. And there is a fund line for this,
Okay.
knowing it will go into the red until we get reimbursed, and then they can close it out.
I move that we approve the requested claim to WatchGuard cameras in the amount of $88,880.50.
I'll second that.
Okay, that motion passes.
Just one quick comment. I know you put the plate reading cameras in a couple different places around the county.
Mhm.
And in the recent shooting in Rhode Island, they used those to try and track the car that the shooter traveled in.
Correct.
So I thought, okay, so there's a very practical,
Yes, and we share our data with any police agency that offers, and most agencies do. So if
because I think they,
the Rhode Island car, let's say would have drove down and crossed through us on US 33.
because they
going to
put
Ohio.
an alert on that plate.
Correct. And if we share our data, then those agencies get that alert even if we do, but our guys usually are only signed into that while they're working. So if he's working and you get the alert, great, but that county also, that agency out in Maryland would also get that alert, and then they could use that, okay, he's heading east on 33, and they can start looking and letting other agencies know in Ohio to be on the lookout for it.
Sure.
Because obviously by the time we would get it and get there, he's already in Ohio, we wouldn't see him, because it's that instantaneous.
I thought about it. I thought that's gotta be the same system that
It
we're
is.
using here.
Yep, flock camera system. Great system.
Good.
Good. Thanks,
Yeah,
Sheriff.
thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Hey,
Sheriff.
Dan, the reimbursement comes from what agency? Who gives the reimbursement?
It's a federal grant.
Oh, federal.
Justin, Jack grant.
Oh, Jack, okay, federal grant, okay.
Anything else, Tony?
That is it
Okay.
for me.
Moving on, Nate, come on down.
When does the lease agreement come out?
Couple of short items here. First is our NDOT LPA. It's a community crossings matching grant contract approval. NDOT had sent over the contract and then pulled it back for some revisions recently. But that is one that is using DocuSign. So that'll be our community crossings grant with the state for Bridge 142, the most recent CCMG award. So once that is in place, Steve is the only one that gets the responses for that as far as the DocuSign access, but I just ask for commissioner approval to authorize Steve to sign on behalf of the commissioners when that is final with the state.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Stan, seconded by Doug.
It's kind of odd. They sent it over, then pulled the contract.
They sent it
back
over
for
and actually
revision.
it's sat there for several days because we hadn't approved signature
Yeah,
yet.
we're just gonna wait for
And,
the day.
and at the last minute, they pulled it back, like yesterday, they pulled it back and said, we made a mistake. We don't want you to
We're
sign
gonna
this
edit
after
this.
all, so.
So they must have done something to a
That happened.
template to it, so we'll deal with it when it comes around. There's nothing that we can really adjust on it. It's the state's standard language. All right, second item is just the HSIP, that's the Highway Safety Improvement Plan. That is our bridge guardrail contract. This is for the construction inspection, or CE for construction engineering. There's a proposal there between the county and American Structure Point. They're the selected firm for the project. Their agreement is hourly not to exceed a total of $143,838.24. That is under our budgeted amount on the federal grant, the other grant. That is 90/10. That's actually 90% reimbursable, that phase. And that will not go into effect, or no work will start until construction starts on that project, because that is something we're tracking as it actually progresses. Steve, you have 2 copies of that agreement there in front of you, but I'm just recommending your approval on that. And then once that's signed, I will send that off to NDOT, and then we'll have a parallel agreement with the state for that reimbursement.
I moved that the chairman signed the HSIP.
Actually, it's all of our signatures, so if
Oh,
we just
okay.
approve
This
it,
one's different.
we'll all sign it.
Okay. Well, I still make the motion that we sign.
Gotcha.
I'll second.
Okay,
Gonna cost me some money.
motion by Doug, seconded by Stan to approve signature of these consulting contracts. That motion passes.
Yep, and then the last item I have is for Bridge 58, the exposed steel piling coating project. That's the polyurea coating that I'm exposing on that bridge. I received the 3 quotes back. I advertised that with 4 firms, received 3 responses. The low quote was provided by Milestone Contractors LP out of Fort Wayne. Their quote was submitted for $86,913.30. You will have a copy of the bid tab that I prepared based on the results received. Everything checks out on that. It's higher than the engineer's estimate, but it was lower than the number that I presented you when I had budgeted for it. I had budgeted probably close to 90. I'm glad to see Milestone coming in under that amount. But I would recommend approval of that. And if you do, I will sign the quote. That's the way the form is set up for that as a quoted project. And I will send that back with a notice to proceed once the weather's fit in the spring.
We've definitely been getting some good quotes from Milestone.
Milestone's been good. Pioneer was really low on the joint replacement or rehab work that we had just put out. Milestone's low, so it's a good time to be bidding work for us. I wish I could get some other jobs ready and try to push through, but we'll take what we can get.
You know, this is, obviously, this is a test case
Mhm.
on these.
Yes.
Be interesting, once they get that done, I wanna make a trip out and take a look at it and see
I'm gonna
exactly. what
watch
we're
very
doing there.
closely the
Yeah.
preparation, the procedure of the application, because if this works well, then this may become a standard that I use on any exposed steel shell piles. When it comes to bridges of that type, that's the failure point, and forces a full replacement at that point. There's no rehabbing of a pile quite the same way. So that's certainly my goal. So again, thank you very much.
We didn't
We need a motion. We
Okay.
need to approve the
Yes.
milestones.
If you'll
Okay.
approve that. I'll sign
Just
it.
one question. They get it quoted. You know, you're not gonna know immediately if it works or not. You're gonna have to wait down to several years to see, aren't you?
Correct. My hope is to see if there's anything in the application process as far as what we can try to do just during the construction phase. And then I'm gonna be monitoring it along with the regular inspection schedule. Make sure that we apply it like we said we would, so you're kind of hoping that everything goes exactly as what you're planning from the vision to the actual application. Then beyond that is it gonna give you the longevity that I wanna see?
Well, I'm willing to take the risk to see if it's gonna work, so I make a motion that we approve the milestone, quote, for this project.
I'll second that.
Motion by Doug, seconded by Stan.
If they want to test it, we could maybe put a bed liner in one of the pickup trucks.
Yeah, maybe a bit liner. I think we'll have that applied to any of the trucks that we have already, but no, this will be a good test and I don't anticipate coming back and asking to do 5 or 6 bridges next year. We're not gonna be rolling something out like that real aggressive. This is gonna be a test. We're gonna let it set, maybe do another one if that works out well. Hopefully I get good bids on these.
What would approximately, had we done it the old way, painting, I guess,
Just
was
conventional painting.
conventional painting? What do you think that would, what do you think our additional investment is
You're
here?
probably spending about 50% of it.
That's what I wondered,
for-
if half.
You're gonna be maybe 50%, maybe more. The problem it comes down to is there is also limited painters and when you can get them. So it might be half or it might be just as much.
Okay.
That's gonna be the problem is because I'm gonna spend just as much in mobilization and there's not as much cost of material. So this is a more expensive application, but my intent.
Probably
my
not
hope
twice as
is-
much, but
Yeah, but I am expecting that I'm gonna get significantly longer life, because
Okay.
once the paint, you're talking about painting being a 1/10, 1/20th the thickness.
yeah.
So the significantly thicker.
As long as the
application
surface preparation and everything is such that it sticks and it's,
Seals,
you
keeps
would
the
think that
air.
the durability of the application would be significantly longer as long as the surface adhesion is
Yep,
good there.
As long as it gets
and-
bonded right. So I mean, when you come to a painted pile and it gets hit by something, whether it's a tree or something underneath that strikes it, damage that paint opens it up, then you've lost that containment.
Yep.
So that, hopefully this is a little more resilient to that sort of impact. That's kind of my concern.
Well, I'm sure that they've got documentation of projects they've done for other, sites, well documented too.
There is some documentation, but I'm going to be creating some documentation for them for this sort of application elsewhere.
Okay,
So,
well, thanks
But yeah.
for trying
okay,
it.
we'll test it
Appreciate it.
out.
When's the next round of community crossings open?
Next July, so
Oh,
in the
so-
middle of the summer. So
Okay.
it'll be the summer for fiscal year 27.
Gotcha.
So we'll be watching for that. And we're gonna try. Obviously, we were the only ones awarded in Adams County that I'm aware of.
Well, and I've been watching Wells County and I think everybody was disappointed, maybe except us.
I think there's a lot of people
lot of
that are quite upset about it.
Do you think they'll change that at all?
Yes, that's government. It just will change it. And it just comes down to how much and which way. So we have to play by the rules they set and we'll do our best to try to put good projects together for the future.
Well, that's what I'm sure of too, between you and Brad. I'm sure you're gonna have projects ready.
Oh, yeah. No, we've got a good plan. It's just which ones do we want to pick and present to you and to council and we'll put a good opportunity together. And we've got a great track record as far as success on these jobs.
I think it's okay to be discriminating. I mean, I support the work that the state is trying to do and trying to lower property taxes and, it's gotta come out of somebody's hide when those things happen. And so causes just to be more discriminating.
Well, as you've commented just earlier about how we're seeing some very good bids on projects.
Yeah.
Part of that is because there's less money being pumped into the economy on the construction side, so contractors are getting a little hungrier, profit margins are starting to come down. That's good and bad. Prices are coming down, but obviously certain firms are getting layoffs, so there's the economy and the market have got to adjust to the new norm.
You bet.
So, all right,
Very good. Thanks, Nate.
thank you.
Thanks, Nate.
Brad, come on down. Good morning. Good
Good morning.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The, no snow removal out there today. That's fine with me. I don't mind this little bit of nice warm weather, you know, I don't mind if on Friday it's mid-50s. Yeah. That's fine. We'll break. We'll take
Does,
it.
does that make the gravel roads mushy?
Yes, actually
Is it-
it is. We
is
were
the
just
frost
out
out?
looking this morning and the frost is coming out. And
Yeah.
But they're not as soaked as some years.
No, because of all the dry weather we had, because when Paul and I actually went and looked this morning, if we don't get any bunch of moisture here between now and possibly next week and it doesn't freeze. Yeah. We might be able to go great. Good.
Yeah.
So we're
Good
keeping
deal.
an eye on it. We're hoping to be able to get out. Very good. That'd be great. So the only thing I really have today is our monthly draw. And this for the MVH for the month of December. $318,898.34. $318,898.34.
More than the year past, so.
Yeah, and it's a little interesting. I did do some comparisons too. And this is a rough, just me looking, you know, over last year. It's little, right around $100,000 more than what we brought in last year. Okay.
Total, yeah.
Yeah, but if you look at the year before, you know, it's roughly about 50,000, 60,000 more. Yeah. I mean, it has went up, which is good. So on the other side, for the local road and street, for the month of December, $54,615.27. $54,615.27. And there again, that kind of follows the same trend.
Good. Yeah.
Did they do anything with the gas tax? Nope, left that alone.
Yeah, that hasn't been changed in quite a few years. So.
Okay.
I move that we accept both the local road and street and MVH fund as reported for the month of December and the summer we had for year end.
Okay. Motion passes. So yeah, the only other thing real quick is, you know, the other nice thing about this nice weather is our tree crews out, you know, just trimming some trees that need trimmed. I'm not sure if they got the one back here behind you yet, but I know that was on their list. On 900 North there was one leaning.
Oh, was there back,
There
was
was a big
that
one
on,
leaning.
on Zach's property
Yeah.
or mine, bro?
It was on the very back side of your place. So I'm not sure where that property
Oh,
line is.
okay.
And also, they're out pulling edgestone back up along the edge of the road. So,
Yeah, so we're closed Christmas Eve day and
Yes.
Christmas Day, but we're back to work Friday. Is that correct? Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Yep. I drove 300 North again yesterday as I left church. And just that road ended up to be a really nice project. Yeah, it was a very nice road. Maybe you could use the center line. But that's a nice project.
It
Nice
was
road.
pretty smooth till they put a bridge in it.
Yeah, but yes, that is a very nice road. It is. And, you know, center lines are something we can also talk about. Typically there again, you know, on the major roads, we do get them center line or whenever we. You know, that's one of the collector roads that we keep talking about as far as emphasizing maintenance and work on those collector roads. So. Good. All right. Well, again, Merry Christmas, guys.
Thanks.
What do you do your next week?
Come on up, Rick.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Morning, Rick.
Hi, guys. Morning.
Don't really have a lot, mainly maybe for the media. The food bank will be closed until January 7th.
Right.
So they're not, it won't be tomorrow or next week. January 7th, that will reopen. I'm not completely moved, but I'm functioning out of my new office now.
Are you really? Cool.
So desk and everything's moved. Of course, there's tools and different things. I
Sure.
gotta get out.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that's kind of a nice place for you to settle in there a little bit.
At least for now.
Yeah.
Till we upset the apple cart again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm down there.
What we do, we just take all the offices and shake them up in a bowl and put them up.
Will you come off of the bottom floor, off the elevator and go out onto, I'm gonna call it the IT? So clear on the bottom first floor. There was a door going out in that hallway. I've taken that door and jammed out of there. We gained like 6 inches of taking that out.
Oh,
Because they had a skid, say IT had a skid of things, just hardly couldn't get it through there.
Okay.
And that's what McGuell's doing here right now.
oh,
And that's
Closing that
out.
back in a little bit, closing the
Yeah. we're-
gap back
I'm
in.
gonna-
Yeah,
they're
I saw it
trimming
out
that- they're
yesterday.
trimming
Finish that
that
back
out.
on, yeah.
That's what's going on
yeah,
there.
okay.
Good.
Other than that, I mean, just everyday things. You guys got-
Well, hopefully, just because the highway department, it looks like you're not gonna have to respond to anything on Christmas, doesn't mean you won't.
Yeah.
But hopefully not.
Hopefully not. I don't know if you're meeting next Tuesday. I'm gonna try to maybe.
Our,
I don't think
our
we are.
intention is maybe, we're gonna talk about that, but it's a
Yeah.
possibility we will not be here next Tuesday.
you can come in if you want to though.
Other than that, I
Um,
did, spoke real briefly with Sheriff about last week you had mentioned to me about some security things. With some-
Right, right.
After the first year, we're gonna get together.
You guys get together and bring us a plan, and I know it's gonna cost money, but I think it's something that we just need to invest in. Did we finish up with the, sewer work on the drain line that you opened up and then we didn't get it done? Is there a,
It's not, it's probably maybe not quite half done.
okay,
But, we haven't had any, no, that is not completed, but gonna need a couple days, a good day for that, for
Yeah.
sure. So
may have to wait till the next,
we have to wait till maybe the next holiday.
holiday,
sometime.
President's Day or whatever's coming up
Yeah.
here.
One of those.
Okay, good
Have
deal.
we been having pretty good luck with our drains?
We have here, over at the courthouse, not so much. Seems like it's been every 2 or 3 weeks. And when I have someone come to clean it out and it's in the employee side and the women's, it's just excessive TP.
Okay.
Maybe kind of the same issue we had here.
Okay.
Cause every time they'll camera it and it doesn't take much at all to get it to go through.
Sure.
So, but other than that, I mean,
Shoot. Is part of that the fact that those pipes are old and they're not smooth anymore and
I
they
mean, that's
catch
probably some of it. I mean, they've jetted it. We may need to, at some point in time, put a clean out on the outside of that
Mhm.
courthouse.
Right.
So we can get to them.
Yeah, I think that might be a similar situation, what you're doing here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's just really, it's just gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good. Anything on the, mechanism for the flag? Any change over there? Any improvement over there?
No, I think the last time I reported to you about that was a situation where the cable was slipping.
Right,
um,
on the,
And I think that they were gonna take it, I think out there to
right, the universal or,
Yeah.
yeah.
see what they could do, and I don't know what they're gonna do. I haven't heard anything back.
I wonder if they could somehow rough that pulley up or something that
I
would
don't know.
grab that cable a little better.
Cause when I had to do it by hand, and it still has to be done that way,
Mhm.
I've got to, it just slips.
You gotta, yeah,
Yeah, but the control box for it and the conduit and everything is hooked up. It's just that it won't move.
it slips.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Anything else for Rick, guys?
I don't. I just appreciate over the past year, you've done a good job of responding to emergencies and unexpected circumstances, and
Yeah,
you can't put that in the job description, so
Tough.
thank you.
tough job, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it helps when you have the support, so.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay,
Thank you, Rick.
thanks, Rick.
Thanks, Rick. Next up would be Mark Wynn. Mark is not here yet. Clayton, you wanna mind jumping over to the attorney work?
Sure. The first thing I put in front of you would be a proposed lease agreement between the county and Meridian Health Services, which is WIC. Obviously, you know, they've previously come to public meetings, and understood that they're going to be finding placement elsewhere. But the term of this lease, would provide them 6 months, so commencing January 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2026. And if they would be here later, there is the option to continue month to month thereafter.
And they can exit earlier than that, is that correct? With 30-day notice,
Correct. If they provide 30-day notice, either party,
party can
the
cancel.
terminations, I'm just trying to find it again.
Yeah, it's right at the end of that, paragraph 3. Either party may terminate without further obligation.
Yes.
It's written notice.
Yep.
So it's there.
So we'll just ask for approval of that, and then we can probably have you gentlemen sign it today and issue a copy.
Get it out to them.
Yeah.
I know they were concerned that their insurance might not be in place if they didn't have a lease. They need a lease in order for their insurance to cover the.
Yeah, and if you can let me know, I mean, I can always, once we get a scanned copy of you all, a signed copy by you all and attested by Tony, we can always send a digital copy to whoever needs it.
Okay, I can get that contact. to
We
you.
didn't change their rent amount.
We didn't. Same thing they've been paying.
I move we accept attorney's recommendation on the lease agreement to Meridian Health Services for 6 months, subject to 1 month beyond that or sooner.
I'll second
Yeah,
that.
I have no problem with that. Okay.
Thanks for working
How many
it out.
copies do we need? You need several?
We'll just need one copy signed
Okay.
under lessor. I let the sheriff know that, related to Country Acres, other than the one property owner, that we're trying to get something worked out, you know, reduced to writing related to an agreement for when and how he will abate some of the nuisances on those properties. The other, any and all other properties not owned by that property owner, all of the enforcement actions have been filed in either small claims court or Adams County Circuit Court to move forward with that. I don't believe I have anything else.
Yeah, I drove through there the other day. It looks like, you know, there's been some progress as far as taking a couple of the trailers down and taking them. So.
Yeah, unless you all have any questions for me, I don't have anything else
Have nothing.
other than there's
Thanks, Clayton.
there'll be reindeer at the Riverside Center at 1 o'clock.
All right, all right.
Live type.
Live, yep,
Live read.
live
You just
7-month-old
need to
reindeer.
Shannon, what have you got for us this morning?
You wanna take this and get it to them and then.
Yeah, who does it go to?
I have
Steve
that
might
for
have
you.
their,
I have their contact information. I'll get to you.
and once it's all signed, I'll scan it, then I'll get.
The only thing I have for you today is, I sent you guys a new policy manual that we discussed a couple months ago. Clayton has reviewed it. If you have any questions on it, or if there's anything you wanna talk about on it, if there's anything.
No, just looking for approval.
If you're prepared for that, yes, it would be effective January 3rd, 2026. And then I have a list of changes that I've put together as I was going through it, so I'll send that out to all the department heads and employees when I send this out as well, just so they don't have to search for what's new, so.
Okay, Stan, up.
Good.
You okay?
You guys, thoughts?
Yeah, I have to confess, I didn't read through the whole thing, but yeah, on your recommendation and Clayton's, I would have.
Got the updated policies.
Yeah.
I would have
Make talk to me about that contract.
Stan made a motion. I second, Steve.
Okay. So
Thanks,
motion
Shannon,
made,
for your work
seconded,
on that. Appreciate
policy
it.
manual's approved.
Okay.
It's a
I'll
big
have
one.
this after we're finished, if that's okay.
Okay.
I can have it. Thank you.
Is that for all the employees, the staff, that's what gets that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. How many people is that would be, on the whole,
300.
okay.
Okay, one of the things we wanted to cover today was next week's meeting. As I told you guys, I will be out of town and not available. It's a meeting that probably a lot of folks are gonna be difficult to track down. So the question I had was whether we wanted to have that meeting or cancel it. I know Tony's actually, we reached out to Tony and he's reached out to some of the department heads, and I think we could get along without having that meeting and not negatively impact any operation of the county, but it's up to you guys.
Tony, is there or Clayton, is there a time frame? I mean, if we do cancel a meeting, are we okay on timing as far as public notification and all that kind of stuff?
If you guys verbally move to cancel the meeting today, I would just have also an instruction to the auditor's office. I understand the media is here, but technically under the statute, they have to send written notice to those media sources that the meeting is canceled, and then they need to post it here in the annex that the meeting is canceled. Then that's only 48 hours, a minimum of 48 hours
So we're
prior.
good.
We've done that in the past.
Okay,
Angie takes care of that. She gets it to the papers, then we
And-
print a blanket agenda that says meeting canceled and hang it right out here.
Correct. So that's not something new to the auditor's
Take care.
office that they'll
so
handle
you're
it.
good,
Yep,
Tony?
we take
Okay.
care of it.
I concur with Steve. I mean, we're going.
Yeah, I'm fine, I'd second that, so.
Okay, so I made the
You know-
motion,
Okay.
Steve second to,
Doug,
no
Doug
meeting
motion
next week.
stands second. There will be no meeting of the commissioners next.
So on
Tuesday.
YouTube, maybe we can just broadcast one of our former meetings.
Yeah,
Maybe you can sing.
so somebody doesn't have withdrawal.
We won't have the usual huge crowd then, right?
Yeah, we won't, we won't.
Hundreds of thousands.
An encore performance from previous meeting.
Okay. Mark, come on down.
I'm sure the viewership on YouTube is booming.
Yeah.
It might have been double digits.
You got your, you want to cover that first or do your?
By over 20 people worldwide.
Either one.
Stand up.
Yeah,
and
we're
stretch.
standing up. Go ahead
Yeah.
and bring your subdivision.
Okay, I'll just launch these to you and then I'll
Okay.
grab the.
The one for her, I'll give one for her too. From the burn.
Jim's messing up.
Yeah, no Jim today.
Oh, there's Pepper.
I got one.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, there's the November one, right? Yeah.
Bought by Mark, I believe Mark Lamont. That's his development company. So. Just north of 224 on 500 West. It's just north of Shane Rickereg, wherever he lived or lives. And it is sewer district. Can be. So he bought this property, just a rectangle square. And he's gonna rent the house out, but he wants to use the barn. So he is breaking out the barn. It's only an acre, but it can be because of sewer availability.
Small.
Okay. Questions, guys?
No, I have none.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Stan, seconded by Doug. That subdivision passes.
And Randy Reynolds is breaking up.
Is that the Randy Reynolds auction or sub barn? Is that different Randy Reynolds?
Yeah, same guy, I believe. I think. 1100 South.
Right.
That'd be his neighborhood. And so 1100 South, they're basically taking a single lot, making it into two. They're dividing off the woods, which is in the back,
Okay,
parts to the south.
and here's their access, is
Yep.
that right?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's not even an easement, that's a full, that is part of that. lot.
1100 south and,
Okay.
let's see, 150 is close by.
Yes, 150s. All about here, in real life. And 275 east.
Okay. Wonder what the intent is back here.
I don't know if they're just, I don't know the intent of it at all.
Yeah. None of our business, I guess.
Yeah.
Farmland stays
Hope
separate
it's
from the
legal.
woods. and
What's that?
He could sell off the
Not a
woods
meth
to
lab, no.
whoever, and it is a 30-foot, which is the minimum you're supposed to have.
Okay, for
Okay,
access. Okay,
move we approve.
okay.
Second.
Motion by Doug, seconded by Stan. That motion passes.
Where's McKinney Land Surveying? I should know, I suppose.
He used to work for MLS, like, I don't know, several years ago now. Went on his own. I believe he's in Wells County, but barely. Keystone.
Highway 1. Eastern. Just
South.
One south bluff.
Just a couple homes and a crossroad.
And
Okay, what else we got for us, Mark?
oh, the picture, that's a later thing. That's not for now. On the report that I was supposed to give you last week.
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh, I don't know whether you were supposed to or we.
Well,
doesn't
I
matter.
was, so Sarah, I don't know if you know this, but had to have a surgery
Okay,
and I didn't think she had it done. It was on my desk buried. I didn't know.
I'll be darned.
I thought she didn't get to it because of having to get her surgery.
Sure.
So that was my fault.
She doing okay? I mean,
Well, she's supposed to take, up to 6 weeks off. She was back in a week.
Jeez.
oh, wow.
She worked all last week.
Good for you.
And I just said, well, I told her, I said, we miss you and we want you back. We don't want you back 1 minute before you should be.
Yeah.
Right.
She just says, I can sit at home and stare at the TV, or I can sit at home and look at my computer. Or sit at the desk and look at my computer. So
Yeah.
Oh, good.
she's a trooper.
Huh.
As you can see, we have, and I thought we would, broke 500 already. That's without this month's report or what's going to happen this month. We definitely slowed down the last month with inspections and permits, but second time, I believe, ever that we've surpassed 500.
Okay.
And depending on what we end up with, I think we might have the most we ever did. Which, with the cost of materials, is astounding.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
as we
huge.
talked about in the past, you know, looking at the option of getting you some help, so.
Yeah, we need to figure that out.
Okay.
Between you and Shannon and us, you know, hopefully we can come to some kind of a resolution there.
I've talked to Shannon, we haven't had to sit down yet, but that idea of having a full-time nuisance ordinance guy that can then part-time help me out and maybe even help health department out or whatever.
Right.
And kind of help a couple different departments, but have a main goal of nuisance ordinance, that would be.
Kind of an
That's more
enforcement
helpful than a
officer.
part-time person for me, because I don't know when I need the part-time person.
I know.
You know,
I
that way
hear
there's
ya.
somebody always
And,
here.
and easier to hire too.
Right.
If we, as long as we can justify it.
Yeah.
I know that- I
Specifically,
know
you're
the
looking
sheriff-
for
Look for
improvement
a
on the
motion to
November.
accept that report.
I know the sheriff was-
I move that we accept the November report.
Motion by Doug, seconded by Stan. That report is accepted
all I got
into
for
the
now.
record. Okay,
Okay, thanks, Mark.
thanks, Mark.
Are you gonna recognize the young lady back there?
I will. I've lost her card. Yep, I will. Make sure we've got everybody else off the agenda here. Okay. Lindsay, come on up.
All right.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for
Please-
allowing me to speak with you.
Please introduce yourself. We know you're from Office of Community and Rural Affairs. Help us understand how you can help us.
Okay, so Lindsay Hammond, I'm your new Northeast, new-ish Northeast Community Liaison with the Office of Community and Rural Affairs. I have been with Okra in this role for about a little over 9 months now. I have the 17 counties in the northeast corner of the state. As in May, our regions, we went from 6 regions down to 5, so we picked up additional counties. So I'm still trying to work my way around the region and introduce myself to all of my communities. Okra works directly with local units of government with grants. We are a pass-through. We have about $32 million a year that passes through from HUD. And our job is to get that money into our small rural communities. So Okra works with our Indiana communities to build relevant and economically thriving places where people want to live, work, and grow. Our mission is providing resources and technical assistance to aid our communities in shaping and achieving their vision for community and economic development. We do work more in community development. We are here to help you to provide you the assistance to help you serve your current residents. We don't do anything for expansion or growth or economic development. So in that arena, Okra manages the Community Development Block Grants, are also known as CDBG for the state of Indiana. These federal funds aim to support our non-entitlement towns, cities, and counties throughout Indiana with various initiatives such as improving water infrastructure. 80% of what we do is water projects, wastewater, drinking water, and stormwater projects. Enhancing public facilities. So public facilities, we do community centers, libraries, fire stations. We also, in that arena, childcare facilities, senior centers, things along those lines as well. Preserving historical sites, addressing residential and commercial blight, and revitalizing main streets. So we like to help preserve historic buildings if we can. We have historic preservation as one of the national objectives or grant types that you can use. But when the need is there and you have a building that just can't be saved and is posing a health and safety risk to your community, we also have grants to help you acquire those properties and demolish them. And obviously, revitalizing main streets is we have our Main Street Revitalization Grant. You have to have an active main street that is an IMES, which is an Indiana accredited main street or a national accredited main street to apply for one of those grants. CDBG funding plays a crucial role in enhancing the quality of life in Indiana communities while ensuring the health and safety of their residents. So that is our focus. Our focus is to be here to partner with you to help you serve your communities. The Indiana Main Street Program is also managed by the Office of Community and Rural Affairs. Indiana Main Street provides access to information, help getting focused community support, and guidance to individuals and organizations interested in downtown revitalization. So we help if you have a downtown group. I know you guys, Decatur
Very active one.
has a very active Main Street. They are currently in the process of leveling up to an Indiana accredited Main Street. And we help them through the 4-point approach that we have for our main streets. We offer them tools and resources, networking opportunities to help them bring economic vitality to the downtown. They work with property owners and business owners to make sure that you have full occupancy. And they actually help grow your tax base by attracting businesses and people to your downtown and to your communities. And they bring communities together. It's about building stronger communities. And because once upon a time, life happened on Main Street and then everything became dispersed, right? We went to big box stores and malls and we went away from that. People tend to think of mixed use development as a new idea. It's not. We originally had our main streets and that's what they were. You had, housing on your second and third floors and your first floor was your shops. And, we're here to help bring that back and build stronger communities. They promote your businesses and your they host events to bring the community together. So I would be your main point of contact with the state for our grant opportunities. And I look forward to partnering with you and serving your communities. We have, and our website is a wealth of information. In addition to the construction type of grants that I mentioned, we also have planning grants. So we have feasibility studies, we have master utility studies. I just drew a blank right there. I don't know, downtown revitalization, economic development plans. So we have, I mean, we're here to, you know, I work with the communities to find out what projects they have on the horizon and then see if there's anything that would be Okra eligible. And if not, I'm really good about presenting other grant opportunities that you could explore for those if they aren't Okra eligible. So I'm open to answering any questions that you might have.
So what, so the time frame we're looking at now 2026.
Yes,
The time frame for application, is there a specific time frame that?
yes. Are you asking what the times would?
Right.
For 2026, we are working on getting our calendar out. We've hit some snags, and so we are still, hopefully our calendar for 2026 will be out this week yet. We are looking at potentially January 8th being our first planning in OOR. So we have owner occupied rehabilitation. That's where we assist you with the funds to have your own local program to assist homeowners. It's all about keeping individuals in their homes. And that one and our planning grants will open January 8th. And I just found that out in the last couple of days. We are still, I'm not sure what the rest of our rounds are going to be. We have 2 construction rounds a year. And because those are longer, those are 2-phase. And then we did have quarterly OOR and planning, but they have decided that starting in 2026, there will be 3 rounds. So I know that the one will open in January and the next one won't open until May. And the construction round will happen somewhere between there.
So I'm assuming cities and towns within the county are eligible as well as county government, correct?
Yes, yes. Incorporated towns and cities.
Right.
And then anything that's unincorporated, they would have to come to
us.
you to apply on their behalf.
Did, during the fiscal year 2025, was Adams County active in pursuing possibilities? You
Not-
may not have that data in front of you.
I have spoken with the city of Decatur about some possible projects, but outside of that, I have not. There's not really been any activity since I've been here, besides talking about some projects.
It would be really interesting. I just casual observation. I was shocked at how busy downtown Decatur was one night this week when I drove through. Their main street, Decatur, has really done a good job of revitalizing and bringing life back into Decatur's downtown. So I don't know what other things you could do for them or what could be done in Bern or in Geneva or
Mhm.
whatever. But I know that keeping downtowns active easily anymore. It takes an effort, it takes work, it takes money, it takes planning, and it takes individuals willing to invest in downtown. And so I guess we need to figure out how to utilize your resources better to build our county, build our downtowns. So I look forward to spending more time with you, trying to figure out where we go from here with how we do better.
Yes, and I will reach out to you to schedule a meeting where we can sit down and talk more in depth about that. But yeah, Decatur, once they reach the Indiana accredited Main Street, which hopefully they'll be awarded in like March, April timeframe, then they will actually be eligible for some of our CDBG grants as well. And I will start working with them on that. We have the Main Street Revitalization, which is one of our construction grants. So that's available twice a year. And they'll have to have a downtown revitalization plan in place in order to apply for that. And then the other one is our preserving grant, which preserving and our stellar, they alternate. And so this year, 2025 was a preserving year, and 2026 will be a stellar year. With the preserving, there's one Main Street awarded across the state every 2 years, and it's up to $2 million grant for facades. So there are other opportunities that are available to them once they reach that level, outside of just the resources, the training and the networking. And even outside of grant, outside of Okra, there are other grant opportunities as well through like Indiana Landmarks.
Sure.
Yeah. And so we're really good at guiding them and connecting them to those opportunities once they reach that level.
Nate, you're right here, you're too handy. Do you see any possibility from your seat in possibly utilizing some of the available grant funds that might come in?
Oh, absolutely. The limitation comes down to is we've got too much or too small a pot. So usually we come up with too big of asks, but I think it would be ideal based on, Steve, what you've been doing with the county comprehensive planning. What we're looking at doing, I think there's a number of
Grant came from
different projects that we would love to sit down with you and look at where do these best fit? How are we gonna look at trying to compartmentalize those, work out a schedule as far as how we wanna try to approach those. But I'd be happy to sit in and help facilitate as a PM as far as how we can technically work out different applications to make sure that we're utilizing that system and not ignoring it.
Nate's our county engineer.
Okay.
At some point, Ian Gilbert had mentioned Okra grants in relation to something in commissioners' meetings, and I'm trying to remember what that.
Yeah. He's our head of our community corrections, which is
Okay.
in the law,
The
over law
timing
enforcement
of it
area.
at that time, the timing was too late to apply for something, and I
Yeah,
can't remember
I don't remember
what.
either.
I remember him bringing it up, but I can't remember.
Seems to me, economic development would fit into this equation somewhere.
We
wouldn't it?
typically work with the
I
economic
think
development office.
Decatur's been pretty
I
active.
do. Part of my job is meeting. I meet with all the local units of government. I also meet with the LEDOs.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I think between Nate and
Colton.
Lido's,
Yeah,
you
Colton.
know,
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah,
would
and
be
I think
your,
I met him recently. I was on a Lido council call
Probably,
just
yeah.
recently, and he was on there, and
Yeah, he's
I'm
pretty
intending to
active.
reach out to him as well and
Good.
and schedule a
Yeah,
meeting.
that'd be
Okay.
great.
Yeah, they usually know kind of what projects are
Right.
out there and
Right.
where assistance is needed, so.
I'm real curious too about the OOR grants, the owner occupied rehabilitation. Is that intended to keep people in their home that might otherwise not be able to?
Yes, it's typically, and there are certain, when I say demographics of people, we call them target populations that you actually get additional points on your application, for serving those populations. That would be, for aging in place. So the elderly, we want to keep them in their homes. Single parents, veterans, people with disabilities. And so we look at those specific categories as, and just, we're here to serve low to moderate income individuals. That's
How
our,
does that process play out? I mean, who starts it? Who follows through?
for the OOR.
Who is made aware of that type of grant?
So, you can subscribe to our Okra emails, and so you'll get the emails with all the updates about the program stuff that are rolling out. I'm your main point of contact, so that's why I'm here today. I want to share the information, but specifically with any of our grants, you'd have to work with a certified grant
Well,
administrator.
like say if we've got grandma that the family's thinking, oh my gosh, she can't stay in her home anymore because she's got obstacles.
Mhm.
Number one, how do they know about the opportunities and how does that individual family or person pursue?
So there
Or
are.
does it start with government and work down to them? Or does it start with them and work up to?
Well, in most cases, it's a local unit of government that sees the need in the community, whether it's through code enforcement violations or health code violations. And these are situations where they're low to moderate income individuals or low income individuals that don't have the extra cash to make the repairs to their homes. And so we address certain repairs. So roof repairs and replacements, updated electrical, hot water heaters, heating and air conditioning systems, and ADA compliance to the threshold of the home. And so you're looking and you're assessing your needs in your community. And that's kind of where you want to start. If you were interested in a program like that, the local unit of government would really spearhead that by having informational meetings with the public and finding out if there's a need there. And then you use that information actually to develop your application.
Cause sometimes it's hard for us to see. I mean, you'll drive past a house 1,000 times and not know what's like inside, what the challenges are, so.
And that's where you'd really rely heavily on like your building commissioner and your code enforcement department and the health department. Because typically if there's any violations or anything that's seen, they're gonna have a record of that if there are any.
Gotcha.
And like I said, if you want to just see if there's a need out there, hosting informational meetings, just to find out if there is any need, and you can gather information from people when they come to the meetings about what kind of assistance they would be looking for, and we're looking for the impact, like not just I want a new roof or I need a new roof, but why, right? My roof is leaking. There's every time it rains, there's mold building up in my home because of it. When it gets really cold and it's snowing, I have ice, on my ceiling, things like that. Or we have a child who's in a wheelchair, or someone in our home that's in a wheelchair and we don't have a ramp to use for proper ADA compliance.
We've
And
got a real active council on aging. I don't know if that would be a
They
place to.
they would be able to help you too. If your target demographic is going to be aging in place, then you can use data from them as well, to start looking at, what kind of need and what kind of program you would have. And you really, this is one of them where you operate we give you the funding, but you operate, and all of our grants are on a reimbursable basis, but we grant you the funds and you set up and operate your own local program. So you're vetting, the recipients or the beneficiaries. You have your own application process and everything that you go through, and we'll ask for that as part of the application.
But basically, that's the first opportunity on your calendar that you see.
January 8th, which would be really hard at this point. So you'd be looking, if you wanted to do it, you'd be looking at May, which is really, that's really a good time frame though, because it takes a good 3 to 6 months of project development to really have a quality application.
Who actually does the application?
You would work with an Okra certified grant
Okay,
administrator.
all right, so just a question here. If we would have an entity that would decide to pursue and we work with a certified grant administrator, they don't do it free, right?
No, typically, they will, we allow up to 8% of the grant proceeds to be paid to a grant
And
administrator.
what if the grant's not successful?
Well, and that's not a payment for writing the grant. You'll have some that will come in and typically write the grant for free. And then the grant administration, you have they're the ones that are actually like sending it, submitting all the claims and everything to us and making sure you get reimbursed and doing all that throughout the process. They're, leading environmental reviews and they're doing all that. So that's what they're getting paid for. If you pay for your grant administration out of your CDBG funds, you have to have it procured. So after award, you're going to procure a GA. So typically, I think in a lot of cases, they're not really charging unless private GA may do it differently.
Well, the
but if
only
you-
reason I ask, I'm involved with the Upper Wabash Commission, okay? And that organization applied for a 319 grant that was not accepted, so we didn't get it. But we still had to pay the person who wrote the grant $3,700.
Yeah.
That's a concern.
And you're gonna see that, and that's probably more typical with a private grant administrators. You have
Okay.
private grant administrators, and then your RPOs and MPOs also typically have Okra certified grant administrators that work for them. And
I think I've heard Colton talk about NERC as being a Northern Indiana Regional Coordinating Council,
yeah,
as being a grant
Yeah.
administrator that we actually pay into.
So could utilize that
We
service.
could utilize that service.
yeah, so you're already using them as your regional planning
Okay.
organization. And that's where I say they typically will write the grant, especially the RPOs, they'll write the grant for free. And then
Right.
after it's awarded, you have to go through procurement. And then 8% of
And
your
they'll get-
proceeds can be
they'll get
paid to them for the
compensated that way.
administration.
That'd be understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even, it's especially on like a construction grant.
Yeah.
On a construction grant, you have a 12 to 18 month construction, process or timeline. And then you also have until closeout, and then you have a 5-year monitoring period. And that grant administrator is involved all the way through. So it could sometimes be up to a, 6 or 7 year commitment for them. And that's really what that 8% is paying them
Right.
to do all
Would
the
it-
administration.
An example of a construction or a grant administrator be an accountant, an attorney, a family person that's wise, or I mean, what would
It has
be?
to be an Okra certified.
You have to go
grant
through our Okra
administrator.
training.
I
We have
see.
like a 1-year training. Well, it's like
Your professional.
3
people.
different
So
classes.
we
and then
have a
you have
couple
final
up in the
exam.
county that I'm aware of.
So there are
Um,
grant administrators.
Yeah, we have a list of them on our website
Gotcha.
that you can look for. We always suggest, we can't
Sure.
suggest a particular grant administrator or refer anyone, but we do suggest that you find someone who is familiar to your area.
Well, my suggestion would be at this point in time, you got Nate that's somewhat knowledgeable of, and we got our Lido, Colton Bickle. I'd like to see it more or less come from their angles. And
Yeah,
What might be
I think it's
available.
interesting to think about the Council on Aging and
Might be one,
what
too.
what might happen there too. I hadn't thought
Yeah.
about that, but obviously that's Stan serves on their boards. So yeah, I think we've got some opportunities here to work
Yeah.
with you. So look forward to.
appreciate you
look forward to
coming
that.
in.
Yeah,
filling
I
us in.
appreciate the opportunity, and I would like to say, if you were to, even if it starts out somewhere else, in the end, the commissioners for the county are the local unit of government. And so you would be the ones essentially applying for the grant, and you would be hosting, or I would say hosting the public hearing, but can't think of the word I'm looking for. You would be the ones, conducting the public hearing and approving the grant and all of that. So that's why we like to make sure that you are familiar with Okra and the process, so that
Right.
if something
Sure.
is brought to you, you
Right.
already kind of
Been
have
around
a
a
good
while.
understanding of
Sure.
that. So,
Sure.
but yeah, I will reach out to them.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
share a card with them.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Lindsay.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Have a
coming.
Merry Christmas.
You got
You too.
a card with you then?
Okay.
Yes, I have cards.
All right.
Our office would have to help with the grant process and running it through our office too. We pay it in and out.
Okay, you really,
Our
I know what
involvement
you're
is
saying.
Just like. with council
You're the
meetings,
fiscal agent part of it.
We have to pay the money in and out of the grant.
Okay. Anything else from the public? I guess we need to talk about December 30th meeting. I don't think we've.
You don't,
Yeah,
I think,
I think
Did we do that?
did you move?
Did we already did that?
Did we take action
Yep,
on
that-
that?
I think that's done.
Okay.
Yep, I think it's
Okay.
done. Stan?
The only thing, we had another meeting with the opioid steering committee, and what I presented to them was that our board seemed to be open to raising the cap on that money, and so I think they're gonna put together a formal recommendation,
Good.
here in the next few weeks.
Good deal.
But yeah, the committee has significantly increased the ask to include some of the people
Sure.
we'd like to award the grant to.
Good. Anything else, Stan? Doug, anything for
No,
you of the
good.
cause?
I'm good.
I don't know that I have anything. Nothing else from the public? If not, look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.